show you. I think it's in your packet already. I got the file today, so
Okay, we'll get started
time
then.
to check it or anything. I will.
I call to order the regular work session for the Sierra Vista City Council for March 22nd, 2022. Just for the record, all members are present. And we'll start with item number 2A. It's a discussion of the 24 March council meeting. And we start, of course, with the call to order, the roll call, invocation and pledge, and the acceptance of the agenda. Is there anything on the agenda that needs to be discussed, changed, amended at this time? Seeing none, we'll go on to the city manager's report. Mr. Patuchik, is there anything you'd like to share with us in addition to your report on Thursday?
Well, we have a number of various projects that are been awarded and out in the street, so I'll be giving an update on all of those. Most of them pertaining to street work and that kind of thing, and then update on the JPA board meeting we had last week as well. So
Okay.
that'll be the substance of my report.
Any questions for Mr. Patuchik? Okay. Item 2 is the consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda. One is the special city council meeting minutes. Regular city council for March 10th. Any questions on those agenda items? Additions, corrections?
Those are long minutes. Thank you, Maria. 'Cause, I know. I guess I was reading through them, and we talked a lot. I wasn't even here. We talked a lot.
Well, you pulled a good one to be away from, huh?
Yeah.
You were on there. We heard you.
We heard you.
Thank you for doing that. So those meetings, those minutes are crazy.
Yes.
Okay, item number 3 is a resolution on the Second Street pre-annexation agreement. Any questions or discussion on that?
No, thank you,
No?
Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry.
Matt, did you want to say anything?
As per usual, the motivation for the pre-annexation agreement is to connect to city sewer in these 2 cases.
The second one, he's already connected, right?
That's what I thought.
Oh. Well, maybe Blake should.
Okay,
he's
Blake,
in a
why don't
better
you
position
enlighten
to
us?
answer. Who actually does the work. Actually worked on this. Yeah,
I was good till you said
please
that.
correct me.
It is correct that Hillary Kirk, who lives at 226 North 2nd Street property, her primary motivation was the county sent her to community development here because she was adjacent to 2 sewer main lines, and so they recommended that she connect to sewer. And so that's why we have initiated a pre-annexation agreement with her.
Ms. Kirk, those are just the concrete pads, right? That's just
It's just the concrete
it's
pads
an empty
right now.
lot right
She's
now.
developing the property.
Right,
Okay,
okay.
that was gonna be my question too.
For the Fisher residents, no relation, at 218 North First Street, they were interested in the property tax savings.
Okay, so that's 2.3 and 2.4, or 2.4 and 2.3 as you presented.
They're already on the sewer, but they want the tax.
Correct.
On the sewer.
Any other questions? Thanks, Blake. Under new business, we have a utility for the new bed station. And Irene, if you could enlighten us, please, we appreciate it.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, Arizona Water has requested a 10-foot utility easement along Buffalo Soldier Trail adjacent to an existing easement in order to accommodate a new water tap and meter for the purpose of supplying water to the new emergency medical service station currently under construction. The city will maintain prior rights, so if we need to make improvements to the site at some later time, Arizona Water would be required to move the line at their cost. I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions? Discussion? Thank you, Irene, it was easy. Okay, of course, we'll finish with the call to the public and comments and requests of council, and then of course adjournment. So that takes care of item 2A of today's agenda. Anybody have any additional things about the meeting on Thursday? Should be a short and sweet. Item B is the recent trips, meetings, and future meetings. And I haven't been to any meetings. I think the whole town kind of slowed down with the kids being out of school for a week. So there wasn't a lot of things to go to or do. Chuck, did you want to make some comments on what you've been doing with the community development block grant?
Yeah, as you'll recall, Mayor Mueller, members of the council, at the last meeting, you had the public hearing regarding the CDBG allocations for the coming year. And just to provide some clarity, it'll be on your next agenda. So the first meeting in April, and you'll have another chance to discuss, obviously, at that work session. In the meantime, we've been working on refining our proposal to you. This morning, Matt and I went out and met with Reverend McCaw over at the church there on Taylor, and discussed their proposal for funding for the parking lot. So we walked the site and talked to them somewhat, and clearly that's a lot larger project than a $30,000 allocation. The parking lot, for example, going in at Sear is about $480,000. So there's a little gap there between $30,000 and $480,000 for a parking lot. But there are needs there along Taylor for sidewalk and for streetlights, and we have the potential to get other funding through our transit grant, possibly to make those improvements there to get started. And then hopefully we could discuss how we can proceed, particularly with the western portion of the property where the proposed parking lot was. And we've talked about some ideas with regards to that. So they're okay with not proceeding with their request, and we will continue to work with them, on the project. And I have a few other options that I discussed with them that aren't quite ready for public discussion yet. That being said, the United Way project will be recommended, and then we come down between our Soldier Creek Park and then Judd Street projects, and we do feel that there's probably other funding we can get to do the Judd project, so we'll be probably recommending the Soldier Creek Park improvements along with that, and the United Way project. So that's where it stands. We'll have those further refined for your next meeting.
Questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about future meetings. So for our calendar for April, the second meeting, the second council meeting, it looks like it's for a Wednesday. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm tracking that for planning ahead.
We'll double check on that. It would be the normal
Right, okay.
second and fourth Thursday.
It should be a Thursday.
We will make sure that's correct.
She's correct, it is saying
Yeah, it says
Wednesday.
the 27th.
It's supposed to be the
Good
25th.
catch.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a quick question, Mr. Mayor, about the youth commission. Are we having one?
Well,
This calendar has
we
1 o'clock.
technically we still have a youth commission.
Okay, do we have people on it? I guess is my
The
question.
challenge is we have to go out and recruit
Roger, okay.
the students. One of the things that's been on my mind for quite a while with the youth commission is I think it needs to be treated differently than the standing commission. And the reason I say that is obviously we would like commissioners on their 2 years. So if they come in there and they're in a senior in high school and they're going to college next year, that doesn't help anything.
I agree.
And sometimes it helps to have two people from the same school for, like, say, after the high school, the middle school, the Pep Tech, the other schools are not really represented, and we need to be able to get the entire spectrum if they want to participate in that. So it's got to be more than just the 7 folks there, and we got to look at a way to structure that so we can get maximum participation. And now's the time to do it, since we basically don't have a totally functioning youth commission.
Which leads me to my next question, which will be for C, so I'll wait until we get there. So,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
One point of clarification, I know this only because I have a daughter on the youth commission. There is a meeting scheduled for tomorrow.
That's
Is
what,
it
that was the
tomorrow or the
question.
27th? Oh, that's April.
It's tomorrow,
At 1 o'clock?
yeah,
Oscar Urine?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we do have a functioning youth commission, but I think it needs to be reformed, is I guess what I should have said.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's a
Very
full
inclusive.
contingent of
Well, they
membership.
may not have a quorum, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not
And
sure.
it's primarily because of COVID, kids weren't participating because of COVID, so, in the past, so that's been a challenge for
There
us.
isn't.
Oh, with all our commissions, actually, yeah, not just the kids. Sir?
In the past, Mayor, how did we go about that? Was there like a, some kind of memo or some presentation sent to the schools offering information about, hey, push this out to your people that are probably gonna be interested in this? Or is it just, we just put it out to the public and
Well, we
hopefully?
just put it out to the public, and what I think we need to do is we need to, either the principals or the counselors need to be aware of it, and somehow when the high school, junior highs, the other high schools, they need to be aware of it as well.
Okay.
So they can, if there are students that are interested, and we haven't done as effective job as we should have done.
All right.
I think that's probably an understatement, but that's.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in helping out, however, if it makes just a simple PowerPoint with here's all the information in one slide, keep them, don't bore them to death with a 10-page thing.
Oh, well, yeah,
But
you gotta be.
concise, one slider, here's the information, here's the
Okay, so I
dates.
gotta volunteer, good,
Sure, I'll help out wherever.
all right. I'll be
Well,
talking to.
I think that stands for most of the commissions. Right now, there was an article recently in the Herald about the poor participation. We can blame COVID on only so much, but we've got, maybe there should be some kind of an outreach.
Part of the reason the article went out there was to let people know that, yes, the commissions are still there and available, and that's part of trying to attract people to come back and work on the remaining commissions.
Yeah, I think we have to do
That was the
something
first step.
ourselves other than rely on the newspaper.
Well, I'm open to recommendations.
I think we should.
Let's jump to C, Mr. Mayor.
I actually have a,
Hang on a second. Anything else about trips, future meetings, et cetera? Yes, ma'am.
okay, I just wanted to talk about the, there's a bill going through and it went through the House, but now it's hit a hitch in the Senate and it's on the transportation, on the rural transportation with the RTAC, Rural Transportation Advocacy Committee. Originally, there was a bill that was sent through committee to take some of the CARES funding, COVID funding, and appropriate 50 million of it to rural areas. Senator Cobb, or Representative Cobb, I can't remember right now which representative, did not think that money was appropriate for local projects. So a new bill has been done that incorporates state projects. That incorporates, of course, our MPO along with RTAC. At last count, the bill was about 430 million, so it grew quite a bit. So we'll see where that's at. But we'll be meeting with legislators next week in the Senate because now the House wants it to stay with state projects. The Senate thinks it should stay with local projects. I have no idea where that's going to go, but I will keep you all informed.
But in reality, if they're working the system the way it was designed, local projects are in fact state projects.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there has been many discussions with Regina Cobb about it. She will not budge.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even let it be heard in committee. So I'm not real sure what that's about. It was very confusing. But anyway, I'll keep you informed as it goes through.
Okay, more good news. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, in the same vein, there's a striker at the legislature right now pertaining to your rental tax. Oops, sorry about that. And obviously, that would preclude your ability to tax rentals, and that's a significant revenue source for us. So we are tracking that very closely with our lobbyists, and I believe the league will be weighing in. So you might be hearing more about that here in the next day or two.
Okay. Now, we ready to move on to C?
Oh, I have one last thing. I'm so sorry. I just forgot. I got an update on the project for the repavement from the bypass up by Fry's. So that's going out for design, and we anticipate that construction won't actually start until next calendar year.
So you're talking the bypass through the 90-92 intersection and then to the east? Or
Yes.
Yeah, the east.
The opposite direction
Yeah.
of the fort, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right, anything else? Okay, sir.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, I think we need to put commissions, and specifically the Youth Commission, on one of our next work sessions. That way we can discuss it on their agenda and get more deeper into it, what we can and can't do, and some ideas and ways ahead. If people agree with me, I'd like to see that soon.
No, we can work on that. I need to ask Chuck too, is there anything, normally this is the part where we ask,
Sorry.
well, no, you're fine. We normally ask Victoria, who's not here today, about the future items coming up for discussion, the future calendar.
Well, Mr. Mayor, primarily those are going to be budget related coming up. So we'll start really, getting into the budget pretty heavy here next month. So I think you'll see items, pertaining to that. I think the first one's on personnel, revenue, and, that kind of thing. So that's coming up here pretty soon. Probably even the next meeting. I don't have the exact date here. With regards to boards and commissions, I do believe the council does need to discuss that. I was hoping to get more data through the year, but it's pretty clear that, half of them are functioning, the other half are not. There could be a lot of reasons for that. I too hate to blame COVID for everything, but I think just the whole physical come to a meeting thing is a problem. There may be some issues with feeling that the status is lowered as a result of them not reporting to council anymore, and those kind of things as well. So I think a discussion about the future of boards and commissions as a whole is probably an appropriate thing coming up here.
Okay, so we need to schedule that for the next time as well, Chuck. Let's do a preliminary discussion. Well, what we need to do is get from staff a status.
Yeah, we need to.
Which ones are
We need to give you the
functioning,
data.
which ones need help,
Mhm.
and then we can focus on the ones that need the help and where they need the help. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Chuck.
Anybody else?
Just one thing, just when we're talking about youth commissions, if we can align them somehow with the youth delegates that I've been talking about before, like, I really want to push for that too, to get that available to help.
Doug, what do you mean by youth delegates?
So the other cities, like when we go to the league, and they have their youth delegates for their city, represent their city, I think it'd be the same pool of
No,
interested.
that's what we've done in the past.
Right.
That's exactly what we've done in the past.
So however we word it, could
We
be,
get them up there for a day or 2 days.
They have a project they
and
do
they,
and stuff.
and they work with the league as
Right.
well. So that's actually one of the benefits of being on the commission.
yes,
You get to go up and see how the cities work collectively.
right, okay.
They really enjoy
And
it.
they enjoy it, yeah.
So just to clarify as well, so 90-92, not till next year.
So construction expected to start calendar next year, but that's that 10.6 million to take care of those real bad areas through there.
Then they're doing design and that kind of thing now.
If one of our local contractors is fixing a road somewhere in the city, say they accidentally spill a bunch of stuff on that road, and they have to fix it themselves, would that be a problem? Like, oops, we have to fix this pothole because we spilled a whole truckload of asphalt. And we just ask for forgiveness later from the state? Is that-
Well, it depends on first of all, it depends on who's
Going now.
contracting with. If they're
If
contracting
they hit a
with the
bump
city-
and it spills a bunch of
If
stuff,
they're contracting with the city, I would hope the city would say, hey, you did it, you fix it,
All right.
and we don't pay any extra.
it's at that
And
point.
I
I'm
would
just
hope it worked
asking.
the same way with the state, but
Right.
again, it depends on who's leading the project as to
All right,
how they follow the rules.
just kind of getting to that point, I'm just wondering what we could do.
Well, there is an end in sight before we
Yeah.
haven't had that.
We had some trees that were leaning the day after they were put in,
Yeah.
and those have all been uprighted, so that
Yeah.
should tell you something.
Oh, yeah, I mean, locally, we're good, I'm just talking about ADOT.
Well, yeah, ADOT, you gotta keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And as I've said in the past, I've told a story about having to actually bring the engineer from Tucson and put him in the back of my car, ride him over a couple of roads, so he
Yeah.
realized how well they were working.
Right on.
Put the
And they got
four-wheel
it
drive in,
They got
not
it
trying to
fixed,
target.
so that's sometimes what it takes. Okay, anything else? All right, seeing nothing else, I guess we'll see everybody.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. just something kind of hit me, and it goes back to, to having the discussion when we do about the commission. I know our work sessions are generally no input from the public. Is there a way to kind of turn it into, I'd like to hear from people that were on the commissions, they're saying they don't feel like they're having a say, the people that feel like there's no reason to come. I like to open up something to the public to come in when we do have that meeting, to hear about people that served on these commissions and what their
I
input is.
don't think that's a bad idea, but I think the first one really needs to be, for us, is what is the situation? At that time, if we feel we need to invite the commissions to come in and talk to us, then I don't have a problem setting up a separate time to do that.
Okay.
I feel that public input is always good.
Yes, sir, I agree.
As long as it's structured and focused on the issues at hand. We don't wanna be jumping off and heading back to the olden days or whatever else may come up in the discussion. We gotta keep it focused.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anybody else? Thank you very much. Meeting's adjourned.
What a beautiful morning.